Hello everybody, welcome back to another part of Let's Play Project Ascension. I think we are at part 5 already, and as you can see we are still rocking the Flamewalker build from live. Also still on cenarius, the low-risk server. There were a few developments on the Ascension scene I would like to talk about in this video, but most of the content in this will be me grinding away to level around 31. So as I mentioned, still on cenarius, still on the low risk realm. The advantage being, of course, me being able to just grind away, not getting ganked or anything, but also the disadvantage, of course, having some sort of stagnating progression here, since it's a ×1 leveling rate server, paired with the launch of Sunwell's new Wrath of the Lich King server and also a high risk server on Ascension. We are a bit late on this episode, so I hope you don't mind. And this also brings me, I think, to a new part, to, well, the next topic, and that is that I would like to maybe outsource this Let's Play again on the high risk realm. I've been thinking about some sort of hybrid Let's Play. What I mean by that is that maybe if I do content pieces like this, when I want just to talk about news, about some sort of stuff that is happening in the Ascension scene, then I will resort to the low risk realm, since there's not really any usage of me showing you the same grinding content over and over again. Like, I can't really commentate over that like when I'm recording this live, so that's a bit of an issue, that it might be a bit too boring to watch. So the idea here is that I'm going to level 2 characters, like one in the grindy Flamewalker way, and of course on cenarius, and also a horde character on the high risk realm, Laughing Skull, that recently launched. And I already have quite some footage of the open world PvP absolute madness that ensued as soon as people hit level 20. And this is something I would really like to get your opinion on, because for me personally, like, I think this might be a really cool dynamic of having this sort of set back, laid back, well, parts that will just show me grinding. There's a certain aesthetic to grinding as well, I think, and just, again, informing about new stuff that is happening, showing you the ridiculousness of the AoE abilities, capabilities in a sort of classless setting, like how much can you farm, how efficient can you be, and as a mix, some sort of contrast to exactly that sort of content. I could play like a horde character and play it along to my grind character, but then have some PvP parts, very interactive, entertaining, but again, not as two separate Let's Play parts, but one big combined Let's Play with an alliance character that's just a bit set back, and again a horde character on the more PvP high risk side of things. So you wouldn't have to endure the same leveling ranges. For example, if I go, like in this part, from level 24, 26 to level 30, then this is a grinding session, and then I would showcase maybe some level 31 to 33 footage on my horde character, on the PvP character at Laughing Skull. You have to keep in mind, I can't really stream on a high risk server, and I also can't go with a grind build on a high risk server, so having those two server options, I think content wise, would give you the best of both worlds. So let me use this video, after I sort of showed you the pitch I have in mind, to explain a bit more things about the new high risk server on Ascension WoW. Again, the name is Laughing Skull. It's a ×5 experience free-for-all PvP server, so high risk, high rates and high rewards. Nothing new so far, but there are a few special features I would like to get into here. For example, monsters drop dungeon and raid items. So this is pretty unique. Maybe you know this already, but on Ascension, well, the dungeons are pretty much scaled up and very hard to beat. There's no way you could do them solo. It has something to do with the classless system, and that some builds are just too powerful and you were able to actually solo them way back. But again, that was with the Bliss-like stats and difficulty on those raids and dungeons. So increasing the difficulty made a lot of sense from a balance standpoint, but it also did lead to a few issues. If you did not want to group up, and let's be honest, even grouping up on a high risk realm can be a bit, well, risky. For example, if you gather in front of a dungeon or a raid and just get kicked out of the group to get looted, then this is one very frustrating point. And a lot of people, they did not really have the trust into other players anymore and just wanted to do something alone. And well, if you wanted to do stuff alone, then you just had to go out in the world and grind your way up. But it was not all that worth it. Experience aside, once you hit level 60, once you hit the maximum level, the only real way to improve was through dungeons and gathering gear at that sort of area. Trying to farm equipment in the open world was not really that worth it, like the drops were not as good, and since you went with an AoE grind build, you were very vulnerable to ganks and stuff along those lines. And if you won't find gear, you won't be able to improve, and if you won't be able to improve, then you are just free loot at a certain point, which led to some very high frustration for a lot of players. So the developers did this huge change to Laughing Skull, giving open world monsters the chance to drop dungeon and raid items. So it's still risky, but it might be worth your time. Another huge benefit from that, of course, is the encouragement of some more open world PvP. As I mentioned, finding a good group was hard enough already, but if you managed to, you would just try and stick to your group and stick to a certain dungeon in order to be safe and to farm up. Again, it also was your only option to actually get some nice gear besides PvP, but we are going to cover that point soon. So the community just running dungeons and raids over and over again pretty much just killed the world. And that's why I think this change is pretty crazy, but it could be one of the most fun changes they implemented, because it's just so motivating and so rewarding to go out and try to get yourself some nice loot with the risk of getting it taken away or like dying any second, but you are just so thrilled. Maybe get that one epic drop that will make it worth your while. Since those items can drop, it also means they are not soulbound, and there will be a ton of stuff on the auction house, so this even gives another option of again just grinding for yourself in a certain spot, maybe not one of those huge overcrowded places, and actually acquiring gold. You don't have to hope for a drop of a certain kind, and well, if you acquire enough gold, you might as well just buy the stuff from the auction house. Again, it's a bit experimental, it might not be as balanced and they might have to fix some certain issues with the system, but I'm pretty psyched for it. Another unique feature will be a new set of improved common gear that players will be able to just purchase, so if you really get ganked naked. A bit earlier I talked about PvP and changes on that level. Again, it's still in free-for-all open world PvP, so that's what defines the server and there won't be any changes to that. But they are going to take away some of the battleground PvP gear that you can purchase for honor. And again, as you might have guessed, this will encourage open world PvP and open world PvE for the reasons that I stated before. So this should be a very chaotic, a very crazy and very fun server to be on. I'm looking forward to this. I already have like 2 characters on that realm and I had so much fun ganking other players. It's super frustrating to die, that happened a bunch of times to me as well. But it has this Dark Souls-y feeling that I kinda missed on Cenarius, but I'm also super happy to still have my character on Cenarius and just to sit back for a while and just not having to worry about the next ambush, losing all your loot. So this mix for me will make it very fun, and I really hope it will also make it fun for you. Again, please guys, let me know what you think. In my mind, this dynamic, this idea sounds very nice to me, but I might have overlooked something, so well, maybe you can help me. Other than that, I thank you very much for watching. If you have any more questions regarding this realm, regarding this Let's Play, let me know in the comments. I will try to answer everything as far as I can. And yeah, with that being said, have a wonderful evening, have a wonderful week, and I see you guys around next time.